LEGO The Simpsons was one of the greatest LEGO themes to ever grace shelves, with fantastic sets, amazing minifigures, and a level of detail that was quite honestly ahead of its time. But like so many of the greats, it was criminally short-lived. So in today's video, we're going to take a little expedition through the history of LEGO The Simpsons and discuss how in 2025 it made an almost perfect comeback. So if that sounds intriguing, stick around until the end. LEGO The Simpsons began in February 2014, the same year the show's 25th season was airing. To celebrate this collaboration, one of the season's later episodes, Brick Like Me, was entirely LEGO themed and included almost every major Simpsons character in minifigure form. These looked a bit uncanny honestly, but thankfully LEGO decided to instead use brand new moulded heads for the physical minifigures. These were at the time quite unconventional, and the only real thing they could be compared to were the Toy Story figures from 4 years prior. This initial wave included two items, one of those being a collectible minifigure series of 16 amazingly detailed characters, such as all 5 of the main family members, Ned Flanders, Itchy and Scratchy, Chief and Ralph Wiggum, Mr. Burns, Nelson, Milhouse, Krusty the Clown, Apu, and Grandpa Simpson. And the other set was the now legendary Simpsons house. This retailed for $199 in the US back in 2014, and now fetches well over 480 brand new and sealed. Just bear in mind that adjusted for inflation, this would retail for $270 US in 2025. While some consider this set to be outdated, I personally consider it to be one of the greatest LEGO sets ever put on store shelves. It contains all 5 family members like the series, except here they all have variations like Homer's printed tie, Marge's apron, and all of their eyes are half closed with the exception of Maggie. A different version of their neighbour is also included. The exterior of this house is good, but the interior is incredible. Literally every room has a tiled floor, which is incredibly rare in LEGO builds. It is also fully enclosed, which makes this feel so much more realistic than the standard open-backed LEGO houses that are all too common. It has all the appropriate rooms, including the ever-important bathroom and garage. As well as that, it included the family car. This was by far the best set of 2014 in my opinion, and even one of the best sets to be released in the 2010s honestly. I don't personally own a copy of this, but my younger brother actually has one still in box that he was kind enough to let me showcase here. But overall, 2014 was a phenomenal first year for the theme, and this set, as well as the minifigure series, will live rent-free in my head forever, just because of how memorable they are. But if 2014 was dinner in terms of how good LEGO The Simpsons was, then 2015 is dessert, because that year we received one further set and a second minifigure series. The series, just like the first, included all 5 of the main family members, this time in different attire, with the exception of Maggie, who was identical to the Simpsons house version, and only different from the last series because of the head. Milhouse is the only other repeat character here. The rest continue to expand into the wider Simpsons character roster, with inclusions like Professor Frink, Groundskeeper Willie, Dr. Hibbert, Miss Crabapple, Patty and Selma, Comic Book Guy, Hans Moleman, Martin, and Smithers. The second set was the incredible Quickie Mart, and if you've ever looked at my YouTube channel banner, you'll know that this is my favourite LEGO set of all time. No, I'm not joking, literally my favourite LEGO set ever created. I got this for my birthday back in 2016, and here are some very genuine photos from that day. And whilst a lot of the stickers are peeling, it's still in very good condition. This set gave us Homer, Bart, and Marge again, Homer being the same as the first series, Bart being technically new because of the lack of slingshot printing, and Marge also different by hip colour only. We also got a donut splattered variant of Chief Wiggum and Apu in a different outfit, as well as the only new character of the set, Snake. Like the last, this cost $199 at the time, and it is fully enclosed, but it can be opened for easier access. Again, it is packed to the brim with Easter eggs and details, usually in the form of stickers, but stickers don't really bother me honestly. A running Easter egg in these sets is the Alberto spray tag, which appears in all 3. This set also had a police cruiser to continue the trend of including a vehicle. A very strong follow-up to the Simpsons house the Quickie Mart was. And one of the most appealing aspects of this set, to me at least, is the fact that it is simply a convenience store, a fully enclosed and somewhat realistic one, which is a rarity in LEGO. Also that same year we would get 3 LEGO Dimension sets featuring Homer, Bart and Krusty. There was no exclusive figures, they were all reuses, but it was still amazing to be getting even more LEGO Simpsons stuff. Not to mention the whole entire town of Springfield in the game, featuring tons and tons of characters yet to be made. But little did we know that we would not see these characters in brick form again for a long time, because just as quickly as it came, after 2015, LEGO The Simpsons was gone. Okay, that's a little bit of an exaggeration because in 2018, however, we would randomly receive a Homer and Krusty Brickhead set. Very strange, but very welcome. However, it would not be for another 7 years until we would hear from this theme again. Fast forwarding to late 2024, we begin to hear some rumblings about a possible LEGO Simpsons return in 2025, like the text at the end of a Marvel movie. And what better set to do this triumphant return with than the iconic Krusty Burger? Initially, I was very skeptical about this supposed gift from the LEGO gods. Like a white van full of Ninjago sets, it just seemed too good to be true. But on the other hand, LEGO had in 2023 brought back both Indiana Jones and Lord of the Rings after 10+ year hiatuses, which really worked in this rumour's favour. And then in mid-May of 2025, our fears and concerns were completely eradicated when LEGO revealed it, set 10352, Simpsons Krusty Burger. It was a truly wondrous experience when this set was revealed. I have no doubt tears of joy were shed, parties were thrown, and even newborn babies named after this glorious product on that day, May 13th, 2025. I'm exaggerating slightly, but the point is that this is a huge W for LEGO fans. But despite the overwhelming success and general hype around the return of this king, it does have its flaws. The included figures are Homer with a new torso, Bart reused from the Quickie Mart, and an Elisa that is almost identical to the minifigure series version, except the skirt now has 13 points instead of 11. And then we have the 4 new figures: Lou the police officer, who pairs great with Chief Wiggum of course, Squeaky voiced Teen, Sideshow Bob, and Krusty in his Mother Nature burger outfit. I find it interesting that Krusty is one of the most focused upon characters in this theme, getting a Dimensions pack, a minifigure, a Brickheads, and now this set. But I like Krusty, so I'm not exactly complaining. These figures are absolutely perfect. It is insane that there's been a 10-year gap and they look literally identical. I imagine LEGO had to bring several pieces out of retirement for this. It is honestly a great selection. The set itself is amazing with all the essentials of a fast food restaurant, a serving window, cooking equipment, a kids area, and even a toilet. Part of the reason this set is so great is because it is a fully complete fast food restaurant, just like the Quickie Mart was a complete convenience store and the house was a complete house. You get the point. The interior is a bit cramped, but it still definitely works, and the exterior is great as well. I especially love the way they captured the look of these bushes under the long window. There's also a Krusty Burger sign included as a side build, and the family car in clown decor to continue the tradition of including a vehicle. If not for the newer pieces present, this seriously looks like it could be from 2014 or 15. The piece count initially had me concerned at only 1,635 compared to the 2,000 plus in the other two, and I think it could have done with being a bit larger, but again, it still works. This retails for $209 US, which is a bit steep, especially if we remember that the last two were $199, and this is 500 pieces less than the Quickie Mart, and nearly 1,000 pieces less than the house. But of course, there's inflation to account for and all that. Also, if you bought this from LEGO in its first 7 days, you would have received the Simpsons living room gift with purchase, which I totally didn't do because paying full price for LEGO would make me a hypocrite. And my last minor gripe is the box art, which being an icon set now has that black void aesthetic instead of the bright yellow featured originally. I get it, times have changed, but just because a set is 18 plus LEGO doesn't mean you have to give it a black box. I miss the days of ideas and icon sets when they had colourful box art. But on a more positive note, seeing the success of LEGO Lord of the Rings with its annual large set, I would not be surprised if we see a further LEGO Simpsons set in 2026, and I think Springfield Elementary is the most natural way to go from here. Give us Skinner, Miss Hoover, a bunch of new school students, and then Otto in the bus for the token vehicle. There's actually a heap of stuff from Springfield they could totally do, although some, like Moe's Tavern and the church, are highly unlikely. The former because of alcohol, and the latter because LEGO avoids religion in any way, shape or form, despite making Christmas and Easter sets year after year, but I digress. In conclusion, if you are going to resurrect a LEGO theme after a decade, this is exactly how you do it. It has its minor flaws, but overall the reception to this has been very positive. And on a somewhat related note, LEGO are also bringing back Pirates of the Caribbean next year, so I hope they can do that theme justice like they've done here. But let me know down in the comments what you thought of the Krusty Burger. Is it the greatest set of 2025, or is it just disappointing? Thank you for watching until the end. That's been all for today, folks. Have a great day and see you in the next video.